Hi everyone, thank you for tuning in to SpeakUpLiberty.com. Before I get into this topic, I just want to let you know that I identify as a Republican atheist. A recent viral news story features notorious commentator and journalist Milo Yiannopoulos. Milo Yiannopoulos has come up in the news a lot during the last year. He's really made a name for himself. He's definitely a controversial person. In this particular story, he came under fire because he was in a live stream interview where he made some comments that were questionable and showed support for pedophilia. So leftist liberal media news sources immediately jumped on this and made it a viral story. And he's having to do some major reputation management. One thing I take note of is that he has made public announcements about this particular issue instead of ignoring it. And he has openly stated that he does not support pedophilia and has explained why that is. So I give him credit for that. I understand the media takes things and will blow it out of proportion. And so now he's doing press conferences, and I respect that. But one thing I take note of that is contradicting about the liberal media news sources attacking Milo Yiannopoulos about pedophilia is that they have openly been supporting Women's March for the past few months, which defends Islam and is ultimately connected to pedophilia and child marriage. Women's March has come under fire because one of the co-organizers, Linda Sarsour, she is a Muslim woman who's based in New York, and she has openly promoted Sharia law for a long time now, for years. Sharia law is Islam religious law, and Sharia law is connected to childhood marriage and ultimately connected to pedophilia. I would think that the criticism of Sarsour is expected. Islam is obviously a questionable religion, a conflicting religion all over the world. And I would think that Women's March would confront the criticism, would say this is a questionable concern that people have regarding Linda Sarsour and her statements as well as Islam. But Women's March hasn't done that. Women's March instead has doubled down on supporting Islam by not confronting the criticism of Linda Sarsour, but actually promoting a hashtag called I March with Linda. Many of you may have seen this in connection to Women's March. But again, I have not seen Women's March talk about this criticism. I haven't seen leftist liberal media sources talk about Islam in relation to Women's March. And again, this is an important issue because Sharia law is connected to childhood marriage and pedophilia, big time, in the Middle East, and there's even been cases here in the United States. I was looking further into childhood marriage in the United States, and I was surprised to see that there's been thousands of cases of childhood marriage. Childhood marriage is when a person marries younger than 18. 18 is the legal age, from what I've read, in the United States to get married. But in some cases, people are able to get married younger than the age of 18 if they get parental consent. And what's surprising, actually, is this is the case for Linda Sarsour, again, the core organizer of Women's March. She was able to get married at 17 years old, which involves parental consent. She was involved in an arranged marriage. And so again, this conflicts with the leftist liberal media attacking Milo Yiannopoulos about his comments about pedophilia when they don't denounce Women's March that has been openly promoting Islam and has a co-organizer who promotes Sharia law, which involves limiting women's rights in marriage and is connected to childhood marriage and pedophilia.